So this project starts with a piece of cardboard or like poster board. You can use chipboard, you can use a cereal box, whatever you want. Cut to 5 3/4 by 4 inch. And I'm going to coat both sides of it with this chalky gesso in white. So do that and then come back. So one of the easy ways to put the gesso on here or any kind of sealer or varnish without leaving brush strokes is take a kitchen sponge, I got it at the Dollar Tree store, and I cut it in quarters. So this is half and this is another half, and I cut it in quarters. Now I'm going to take my sponge and dip it into the gesso. Take off any excess you don't need and then start brushing it on. I put it on the paper towel so it doesn't fly away on me. You can go over that in one direction, dry that, and then I'll repeat in this other direction. And 2 coats should be enough, but if you want, go ahead and add a 3rd coat. Measure in 1.5 inches from one of the sides. Put down a line. And then we're going to paint this shorter side, narrower side with warm white. And if you paint both sides, the board will flatten out. It won't be warped anymore. If you want to tape this off, you can. But we're going to be putting ribbon over that line so it doesn't have to be perfect. Blow dry that. I'm going to take some burnt umber. I want to take my flat brush with some water and make it very soupy. I'm going to go down the whole thing to dirty it a little bit. While it's wet, take your dry fan brush and wipe color off. In one direction and then in the other. So it leaves kind of a grain looking lines. Try that. If you want more lines than you have, you can always use your brush and pick up some burnt umber. Have a little water in it, and then you can drag the lines. And make them darker. Blow dry that. Now I'm going to base coat this with Indian turquoise plus warm white, 3:1. So we're going to trace on our design and then you come back. Okay, so I have my branch on and I have the 3 circles. Now with the burnt umber, I'm going to paint on my branches. I'm going to start with, let's go with the number 4 round. And if you want to go off to a smaller brush as you get away from the branch, you can pick up your 10-aught and you can kind of make those smoother like over here so they trail off. Not looking for straight lines even though you might have traced it straight. You can make it streaky. That'll make it more believable, it gives it more texture. So it's okay if you don't go all the way out to those lines, you can erase them after. With some warm white, and add a little bit of that to the burnt umber and just kind of more warm white than burnt umber, create a little bit of a highlight. This one's highlight's going to be on the bottom here, not up on the top. Okay. For the flowers over here, I'm going to use some Poodle Skirt pink in the warm white. I want you to load in the Poodle Skirt pink and then wipe one side on the paper towel and tip the loaded side in the warm white. Then we're going to start on the outside at 12 o'clock and come to center. Press down and come to center. Press down, come to center. Press down and come to center. Load it, wipe off one side, tip the other in the warm white. Turn it around, do the same. Press down at number 6, come to center. Press down at number 6, come to center. And I am twisting the brush ever so slightly to get that peak. More pink, tip in white. Start at the 3 o'clock. Press down, twist, press down, twist, press down, twist. More pink, tip it in white. Let's do the 9 o'clock. Press down, twist and lift. Now we're going to do the in-between ones. And if you feel like you lost the white, you can go back and tip in the white. So you can always go back and tip in the white and add that white back in. On the leaves, you're going to trace that onto your compressed sponge. That's this piece. Trace that on there and then cut them out. And we're going to put them in water and they're going to puff up. Like that. Let's take some Hauser medium green and I'm going to take one of my sponges and load that up and then place that down where I want a leaf. So let's start with just 3 of each for right now. This one is a half a leaf just starting to sprout. You can do different sizes if you want as well. They don't have to be totally on the board either. They can be half on and half off. If you want to put one on this side, you can use the back of your postcard. That there. And put some leaves coming up from behind. Go ahead and dry that. Take out some foliage green and take out some plantation pine. I'm going to use my number 12 flat. I'm going to highlight with a side load of foliage green on top of some of these leaves. And then on the other half, I'm going to side load with plantation pine. Make sure your highlight's dry. Now I'm going to take my 10-aught liner. Now let's try some of the foliage first. Bring that around and down the petal. Kind of wind them around the branches. Trace on the dash lines for the nest, and then we're going to start with some more burnt umber. I'm going to use my 3/4 inch brush to do a side load on the bottom. And then I'm going to do another one inside. That one you might not see so much. It's not a perfect side load. With your number 4 round, pick up some of that burnt umber and start to follow the shape of the bird's nest with short strokes around that center area. And then kinda, you can bring some off over the edge loosely. I'm going to pick up some moon yellow, and if this is still wet it'll start to blend and make a third value. I'm going to go back in and add some more burnt umber down here. and then in here. I'm going to dry that. Now I'm going to go back to the moon yellow and put some of those without blending. Put some on the top here. And then on the top back here. Now we have to put in our eggs. I'm going to put those in with warm white first. And they're overlapping each other. Before I go any further with that, I'm going to take my 12 flat and I'm going to pick up some more burnt umber and I'm going to side load around these two. And then pick up over here. Just to give it a little bit more depth. Now with Indian turquoise, I'm going to paint 4 out of 5 eggs with the blue or the Indian turquoise. And this one egg here, I'm going to paint with Poodle Skirt pink. So we don't know where that egg came from. Blow dry that. Let's put our eggs back in. I'm going to shade with Desert Turquoise. I'm going to shade the pink one in front with Dragon Fruit. And to repeat that color, take your 10-aught liner and pick some of that up and pull it out from the center of your petals. On the outside of these petals, you can pull in some of the white. On the eggs, I'm going to take our number 4 dome round, pick up some white, work it out on into the hairs of our brush, and on a dry piece of paper towel, wipe most of it off, and then start to scumble some highlights onto our eggs. You want to sprinkle some of that white onto your tree. You can do that too. Now I'm going to cover most of my area with some paper towel. So all you see are the eggs. And I'm going to take my fan brush, pick up some water, pick up the burnt umber, and then tap it over the eggs. Remove that quickly. If you have any spots where you don't want them, take your damp brush and just wipe them off. Erase your lines. While those are drying, I'm going to add a little burnt umber to my desert turquoise and add a little bit more shading. In some of these little V areas here. You can add a little bit more of the dragon fruit. Now I'm going to take the liner brush, the 10-aught, and I'm going to pick up some of the warm white and some of the moon yellow to make a lighter yellow value, and start to bring some of those highlights around and in front of the eggs a little bit. If you want, you can do some straight burnt umber back over some of that area. When you're happy with your eggs and your nest, we're going to dry that. We should put one coat of varnish over this or spray it, and then glue on your ribbon. And your bling goes in the center of the flowers. This can be decoupaged on the back. And what I would do is take my big brush, probably after you decoupage it, and kind of antique the outer edge here. Now I'm going to let mine dry and then I'm going to decoupage it on the back of my card. There you have it. I'll finish it and then I will show you. Remember to paint with heart.